All right, y'all come on up in here. Y'all come up on in this joint. I ain't been live on Instagram in forever. Ever. Y'all still rocking with me? Y'all definitely might not be rocking with me after my post today, but I ain't been live on Instagram or forever. Type of number 7 in the chat if you're still rocking with me. I know y'all might be mad at me because I said Drake will body most def in a battle. I said Drake will body Yasin Bey in a battle. So a lot of y'all might be a little upset with me about that, but I'm standing on business. That's my position, and I'm standing on business. So I ain't been live on IG in a minute, but I felt like it was necessary for me to go live and defend my position with me putting that post out there saying that Drake would body Mos Def, aka Yasin Bey, in a battle. I'm standing on that, family. I'm standing on that. So I had to go live to come defend my position with my chest out and all that. Yeah, because I already knew. So a lot of people say, yeah, I'm clickbaiting, I'm trolling, or whatever the case may be. Nah. I meant what I said. Of course. True Rebel Ant said in the street fight. Peace. What's going on, King? Of course, I know the type of reaction it was going to get from my audience. I know who y'all are. I know the type of audience that I have. Most of y'all, are between the ages of like 25 and 44. Most of y'all are dudes between the ages of like 25 and 44. You know what I'm saying? And more so on the 35 and up scale. You know what I mean? And so a lot of y'all are conscious. A lot of y'all are more so on the backpack, boom bap side of hip hop, depending on where you might be from in the country and all of that. So I get it. Of course, I knew the type of reaction it was going to get when I put it out there, but I wasn't trolling, though. I meant what I said. What's going on, Nicety girl? Peace. So, yeah, I had to come on here and defend that. But before I do that, first and foremost, got to say happy MLK Day to the family. Today is Dr. Martin Luther King Day. It's not his actual birthday, but it's the day that we celebrated in this country. So happy MLK Day, happy MLK weekend to everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's first and foremost. And also earlier, I put up a post with my daughter, man. Y'all saw the post in the hospital. That wasn't me. A lot of y'all thought that was me in the hospital. And I appreciate all the well wishes and everything. You know what I'm saying? But it was my daughter. She had to do a quick in and out operation today. Nothing big, nothing crazy. It is a milestone for our family, though. So, again, I definitely appreciate all the prayers and the well wishes and all of that stuff. But she's fine. She's fine. And so, for the last 6 months, we had a little scare with baby girl. She was diagnosed with a certain form of cancer, called Hodgkin's lymphoma. And so for the past 6 months, we've been dealing with that. She finished up her chemotherapy last month, and she's cancer free. And so today we just had to go in for them to take her port out. You know, they have a port in there where they do the chemotherapy through and all of that stuff. So we just went in there today to get the port taken out, get the port removed, because like I said, we finished with the whole process. She is cancer free. And so, yeah, it is a big deal to us, but I'm just saying, as far as like the procedure that she had to go through today, it wasn't nothing real crazy. You know what I'm saying? But again, I appreciate all the well wishes and the prayers and all of that good stuff. You know what I mean? But no, it wasn't me. It was not me in the hospital bed. I'm fine. And she's fine. But shout out to all of y'all who showed your concern and all of that. You know what I mean? A couple people was calling me and hitting me up. Yo, you all right, God? Yo, you all right, God? Like, yeah, that wasn't me. Y'all ain't see the pink wrap that she had on her hand. Y'all ain't see her nail set and all of that stuff that she had. That wasn't me. That was baby girl. But shout out to her. She's doing fine. I'm in her room right now. Actually, this this is her room right here that y'all see in the background. But she's fine. She's doing great. You know what I'm saying? So we happy. We blessed. Mama Love. Shout out to Mama Love in the building. What's going on, Mama Love? But yeah, like I said, I felt I ain't been live on IG in a minute, but I had to go live and defend my position from the post that I made saying that Drake would body Mos Def, a.k.a. Yasin Bey, in a battle. And again, I wasn't trolling. I truly believe that. And I want to invite people to come on. If you want to come on, you know, and you disagree with what I'm saying, or even if you agree. Even if you agree. Shout out Billy Ray Valentine in the building. Peace, God. Peace, God. But whether you agree or disagree, I do want to invite people to come on at a certain point to talk about the Drake versus Mos Def thing. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about it. God is in the nuances. You know what I mean? That's going to be the thread throughout this this live right here. God is definitely in the nuances. And most people don't deal with nuance very well. Most people don't deal with nuance very well and are unable to compartmentalize. And also most people are incapable of setting aside their biases in certain situations. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, I knew a lot of the audience would be triggered when I put the post out there. But like I said, I'm standing on business. And so for those that don't know or, you know, haven't been keeping up with the conversation, Mos Def, he was on a podcast. I think I forgot the name of it. He was on somebody's podcast recently, and he was doing an interview with a young lady, and she asked him if Drake was hip hop, and his response went viral. You know what I'm saying? He said, you know, he considers Drake to be pop. You know, he said he had a couple of comments about Drake's music being compatible with shopping, you know, that he's just a commercial artist and he doesn't really consider Drake to be hip hop like that. And I didn't really disagree with what he said. I didn't really disagree with his answer. I thought, again, nuance is very important, right? I thought there was certain things that he was saying that was valid. You know what I mean? But also, I don't believe that his response was nuanced enough. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, it created the viral moment where everybody going back and forth, putting their opinion out there about what he said of whether Drake is hip hop or not. And so when it comes to Drake, again, nuance is very important. When it comes to Drake, I think he embodies that concept of God being in the nuances. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not just one thing or the other. You know what I'm saying? Drake is capable of many things. You know what I'm saying? He's good at what he does. I feel like he's a talented artist. He's a talented MC. And he is a talented writer, you know, contrary to popular belief. I know that's everybody's first defense mode. Well, Drake don't even write his rhymes. Well, that's not true. That's definitely not true at all. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he does collaborate with people and he does utilize writers to help with his hit making, his song making and all that. But Drake writes rhymes. He writes his own rhymes and he writes rhymes for others. And he's very good at it. Drake can rap his ass off. So y'all niggas cut that shit out. Acting like Drake can't rap. That's cap. Y'all niggas acting like Drake can't really rap. That's cap. Drake is a good rapper. He's nice. He's very nice. And so is Mos Def, of course. Yasin Bey, the legend. So it's no disrespect to Yasin Bey at all. It's no disrespect to Mos Def at all. But we're going to get into why I feel like Drake would actually win in the battle, what that means to me. But let's just talk about first the comments that Yasin made on the podcast about Drake being a pop artist. Is Drake a pop artist? Yes. Is Drake hip hop? Yes. Both answers are true. Both answers are affirmative. He is hip hop and he is a pop artist. Both things are true. They're not mutually exclusive because, number one, hip hop is pop now. What is pop? What does it mean to be pop? Pop just means popular music. It's short for popular music. And rap music, let me say that. Let me say that because I got to be clear too with my language also. Rap music is the most popular form of music on the planet, and it has been for a long time now. Rap music has been the most popular form of music, the most consumed form of music on the planet for quite some time now. And Drake is the #1 artist in his genre. At least top 3. Like Drake, Future, Kanye West, something like that. But I think Drake is probably #1. Been #1 for quite some time now. So he's the #1 rap artist, #1 artist across genres, and rap is the #1 genre. So yes, he's a pop artist, but that doesn't mean that he's not hip hop also. Now, rap and hip hop, those are two different things. We understand that. Nate Jiggle said, and he could sing too. That's true also. He could sing too, but a lot of people use the singing to say that he's not hip hop. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, I see in the comment section, a lot of people mentioning Drake sing too much, you know, and that's the reason why he not hip hop. Peace, double R blend. Peace, God. But Mos Def sings too. Have y'all forgot that? Yasin Bey sings just as much as Drake on records. Have people forgotten that? Or is it different because it's Mos Def and he's a backpack rapper and he's a conscious rapper and he got messages in his music? So is it different because Yasin Bey actually has substance that is favorable to your taste in his music? Because he sings on his music just as much as Drake sings on his music, ratio-wise. Of course, Drake's catalog he got a much larger catalog than Yasin Bey. Shout out to Can't Knock the Muscle. What's going on? Peace, God. What's going on, man? So yeah, Drake got way more music than Mos Def. Of course, we know that. But I'm just saying, ratio-wise, Mos Def, Yasin Bey, does just as much singing on his music as Drake does on his music. Does that mean Mos Def is not hip-hop because he be singing on his records? He got whole songs where he's singing, not rapping at all. Just like Drake. He got some songs where he's singing and rapping. You know what I'm saying? But they both got songs where they're doing more singing than rapping. Both of them. And so I don't understand the bias there where people are trying to use Drake singing against him to say that makes him not hip hop. That's not true. Is Lauryn Hill not hip hop? She sang more on the Miseducation album than she rapped. She was singing and rapping her whole career on the Fugees albums and all that stuff. She was singing and rapping. And on her album, which is the crown jewel of her career, the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill, she does way more singing than she does rapping. Is she not hip hop? Is the Miseducation not a hip hop album? See, because we got to talk about that too. The difference between hip hop and rap. We got to get that clear too. So going back to the conversation that Yasin Bey was having on the podcast about whether Drake is hip hop or not. The question was hip hop. The question wasn't, is Drake a rap artist? The question was, is Drake hip hop? And so I think most people would agree, yeah, Drake is a rapper. But a lot of y'all disagree that Drake is hip hop. But what is hip hop? Rap music comes from hip hop culture. Hip hop is a culture. Rap music comes from that culture. But hip hop is a culture. It's an essence. It's a way of being. You know what I'm saying? Andre 3000 is another example of rapping and singing. Most people that are disagreeing with me in this conversation, most people that are on the side of Mos Def in the conversation, hold Andre 3000 in very high regard. Andre 3000 is probably in your top 5. If you disagree with me saying that Drake will body Mos Def in the battle, or if you 100% agree with Mos Def that Drake is not hip hop, Andre 3000 is probably in your top 5. He does a good amount of singing. The Love Below is way more singing than rapping. The Love Below album, I think, only got, 2 or 3 rap verses? The rest of the album, he's singing. And he just put out a whole album playing the flute. I see the request, Billy Ray Valentine. I'm going to bring you on in a second. He just put out a whole album just playing the flute. Is Andre 3000 not hip hop because of that? What disqualifies Drake from being hip hop? You know what I'm saying? If we're gonna follow the logic, then those rules have to apply to Mos Def, and those rules have to apply to Lauryn Hill, and those rules have to apply to Andre 3000. Who else? Who else can we think of that is a hip hop artist that does a lot of singing, that sings a lot on their records? Who else can we think of? Because they're not the only ones. Those are probably some of the top ones. And so anyway, I said that Drake would body Mos Def in a battle. Now, when I say body Mos Def in a battle, let me tell y'all what I mean, because there are different forms of battle, right? And so Max B, you could say somebody like Max B. That's a little different in my opinion, but I can understand somebody throwing a Max B in there because he does a lot of melodic stuff. You know what I mean? I would say Drake would win a battle versus Mos Def. I would say Drake is more influential than Mos Def. But when I say Drake will win a battle against Mos Def, what I mean is a traditional hip hop battle. Like this artist make a song, this artist make a song, they going at each other. Like, Nas versus Jay-Z. Like Kiss versus Beanie Siegel. Like Ice Cube versus NWA. I'm talking about that type of battle. Now, if we're talking about like a Smack DVD type of battle, two rappers standing on stage going head to head, that's a different story. That's a different story. I don't know if Drake is built for that. You know what I'm saying? Mos Def, I think he'll handle Drake in a situation like that. Turn the beat off and just give two rappers the mic and they stand right there and rap. Yeah, I think Mos Def will win in that situation. I think Mos Def is a superior MC. Just by the craft of MCing, I think Mos Def is a superior MC in that regard. But the superior MC doesn't always win in a battle. People got to understand that. Again, God is in the nuances. Just because you could rap better than somebody technically doesn't automatically secure you a win in a battle. A battle is a strategic thing. The art of war comes into play. And Drake, like it or love it, Drake understands the assignment when it comes to that. Drake understands the assignment when it comes to that. He employs the rules of engagement when it comes to the art of war, when it comes to battling. And Drake is battle tested. Drake is battle tested. You know what I mean? He been out here battling some of the best lyricists. Also, I think people got Drake underrated as a lyricist too. Drake is nice. And he does write. So stop all that. He don't write shit. Drake been on tracks with some of the top MCs ever. Whether you want to talk about Jay-Z, whether you want to talk about shit, why am I drawing a blank? What's my man name from Compton? I'm drawing a blank right now for some reason. Shit. To Pimp a Butterfly, Good Kid, Mad City. What's his name? I can't think of his name right now. I'm drawing a blank. Somebody help me out in the chat. But he been on the track with him. He been on the track with some of the best lyricists. Kendrick, thank you. I don't know why I was drawing a damn blank on Kendrick Lamar. But he been on tracks with some of the best MCs going back and forth. Rick Ross, you know what I mean? You name it. He been on the track with plenty of niggas that people consider to be top lyricists. Lil Wayne, you know what I'm saying? And been neck and neck with them. And in some cases has had better verses than them. So Drake definitely could rhyme. He definitely could rap his ass off. He ain't no slouch on the mic. Drake chose to go the commercial route as far as his career overall, the type of music that he chose to make. He chose the charts over the art. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why people have the opinion that they have of Drake, because he's more concerned with selling records and topping the charts than he is with just the art of making hip hop music, making rap music, right? Where Mos Def is like the complete opposite of that. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean he's not capable. he's shown throughout his career over and over again that he's capable of going that route anytime that he chooses. People forget that in the beginning, Drake started off as a backpack rapper. You know what I'm saying? He was down with like Little Brother and all of them. Peace to the God. What's going on? How you say your name? I, myself, and us. I, myself, and us. Peace, what's going on? Drake is dope, but Most is a rap god. Drake is a rap god. Yes, indeed. Drake is a rap god. And again, I'm going to bring people on who want to state their opinion. You know what I'm saying? Whether they agree or disagree. I'm going to bring people on in just a minute. I see one of the requests there. Just give me a minute. I just want to get my thoughts together before I start bringing people on, because then the conversation going to go all over the place. But so yeah, when I say that Drake will win in the battle, that's the type of battle I'm talking about. If we're talking about just standing on stage, going head to head, no music, just 2 microphones, yeah, I would give that to Mos Def. But I'm talking about the ether versus takeover style of battling. You make a song, I'll make a song. Drake is going to win that battle, especially in today's climate. Because again, like I said, battling is about strategy. It's about being very strategic. You don't necessarily have to be the better MC to win the battle. You know what I'm saying? You have to be the more strategic MC. And in this climate that we in with social media and memes and all of that stuff, all of that counts in the battle. You could get memed to death and lose a battle, right? You could get memed to death and lose a battle. That's part of it. Whether you know what I'm saying, you agree with that part of it, a portion of it or not, it's part of the game that we in today's, today's climate. And so I don't think Mos Def is prepared for that. Drake understands the assignment when it comes to that. Drake is very strategic when it comes to that. He's a thinker. It's not just about, oh, I'm just going to bar you to death and just out rap you. That's not how you win a battle. That's not how you win a battle. A nigga could just crack jokes and make everybody laugh at you, and you lost. You know what I'm saying? If the bars got enough jokes in them and everybody is laughing at the other person, the nigga with the jokes is going to win, even if the other person is a better rapper. That's just how it goes. And I think in that style of battling, in this climate, Drake going to win that. Drake going to win that versus a Mos Def. You're not just going to sit there and rapidy rap and drop a whole bunch of science and win the battle. That's not going to win you the battle. Sorry. But AI, Drake, and MC at all, you can't ghostwrite a battle rap. Again, Drake writes for himself and others. Yes, he has had ghostwriters in some of his songs. But if you look at those songs, the ones that we know about, right? Like, people refer to Drake's ghostwriting because of 10 bands off of, what was that? If You're Reading This, It's Too Late. When he put out that project, If You're Reading This, It's Too Late, and Meek Mill, Funk Flex, or whoever it was, released the tracks that Quentin Miller did, the reference tracks that Quentin Miller did for those songs. That's what people are talking about when they say Drake doesn't write, because that's the evidence that people have, right? But that ghostwriting is more concerned about hit making than it is about bars. If you listen to those songs, those are not Drake's best bars. That's not even close to being Drake's best bars. The shit that Quentin Miller wrote, those wasn't none of Drake's best rhymes. Drake got way better rhymes than that if you're just talking about being barred up. And so again, Drake writes for himself and he writes for others. You know what I'm saying? And he's dead nice. He's dead nice. So in my opinion, he's not disqualified because of the ghostwriting. The ghostwriting was about making hits. It's about assuring that we're going to be on these charts, that I'm in tune with the new sound and the new movement. Because Quentin Miller, look, Nas, to me, the best MC ever to touch a microphone. Quentin Miller was helping Nas write for part of the King's Disease series. The same person that we know was ghostwriting for Drake. He was a writer in Nas's camp during part of either the King's Disease or the Magic series, one of them. He helped write some of the songs. He didn't write Nas's verses, you know what I'm saying? But he was there coming up with the hooks, coming up with the melodies, coming up with concepts and all of that to make the overall project become what it is. And so there's nothing wrong with that. But he writes his own rhymes. Same thing with Drake. Now, on those particular songs, we know Drake didn't write his rhymes because we heard the reference tracks. So it's a fact that Quentin Miller wrote some of Drake's verses on that. If you're reading this, it's too late. 10 bands and a couple of other songs that we heard the reference tracks to. It was pretty much word for word what Drake was spitting. But again, those wasn't even close to being none of Drake's best rhymes. Those were low caliber rhymes on those songs. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think Drake would be that good off the dome. Okay, that's a different story. You probably wasn't here when I explained earlier what I mean. I'm not talking about niggas freestyling off the dome. I'm talking about you make a diss song, I make a diss song. Mos Def make a diss song against Drake. Drake make a diss song against Mos Def. That's the type of battle I'm talking about that Drake would win. Head to head, freestyling off the top of the dome. Yes, Mos Def probably will win that battle. You know what I'm saying? Most just standing there with no music, just two microphones, them niggas going at each other. Yes, Mos Def will win that battle. But I'm talking about Mos Def go in the studio and make a diss song against Drake. Drake go in the studio and make a diss song against Mos Def. Drake is going to win that battle, in my opinion. Now, Mos Def could win that battle, but I don't see it happening, particularly in this climate at all. But let me bring some of y'all on and get some of y'all feedback and some of y'all opinions. I see my brother Billy Ray Valentine. And if anybody else wants to join the live, just hit the request button. Let me get y'all feedback. I believe most can do what Pusha did. Nah, see, Pusha T, a lot of people bring up the Pusha T thing. Drake didn't lose a battle against Pusha T. And this also goes to my point about strategy. If you ever read The Art of War, if you ever studied The Art of War and Machiavelli and 48 Laws of Power and things of that nature, then you understand strategy when it comes to war. You understand that sometimes the wise thing to do is surrender, right? Sometimes the wise thing to do is give your enemy an out, different things of that nature. Drake didn't lose a battle against Mos Def because against Pusha T, because he basically surrendered. He basically surrendered. Pusha T went guerrilla warfare on Drake, right? Pusha T engaged in guerrilla warfare. It's kind of like if you look at the U.S. versus Vietnam, right? A lot of people say, well, the U.S. got their ass kicked in Vietnam because the Viet Congs, they were using guerrilla warfare, and the U.S. Army wasn't really ready for those type of tactics, right? And so technically, U.S. got their ass kicked in the actual warfare. But is Vietnam a world power over the U.S. or is U.S. still a world power over the Vietnam? You know what I'm saying? In the big picture, the U.S. still is the winner. But on the ground, they got their ass kicked. And so that's the same type of situation with Drake and Pusha T. Drake knew it was wise to fall back in that situation. Or he was advised or whatever that it would be advised not to engage. It would be wise not to engage. And so he chose not to engage. You know what I'm saying? Because he just went for the jugular. He just went straight for the jugular. You know what I mean? And so Drake had to be strategic in that situation. You know what I mean? Same thing with Joe Budden. Joe Budden made like 3 or 4 songs in a row going at Drake. Drake never responded. Drake never responded. So did he lose? No, he disengaged. He disengaged. And so again, it's warfare and it's about strategy. You know what I mean? And the battles that he chose to engage in, he won. He won. When the thing went down between him and Meek Mill, I know most people didn't expect Drake to win that battle like that. I don't agree with that, Almighty. Mos is a very creative and is very clever MC who think lyrically will give Drake a run for his money. See, hop on if you want to hop on and give your opinion, Oba the Native Son. And it's okay if we disagree. It's opinions. You know what I'm saying? But again, Mos Def might be the better lyricist, but the better lyricist doesn't necessarily win the battle. That's not always the case. When it comes to battling, it's more about strategy than it is about being the best lyricist. You know what I'm saying? Like most of the people who um, who lean toward the side of most deaf. Let me see who we got here. I'm gonna accept George. Billy Ray, I don't know if you're still on here. I accepted your request to hop on, Billy Ray Valentine. Um, Brother, it says you're unable to join the live. Oba, the native son. Who we got here? Peace, peace. Who we got here? I can't hear. I can't hear this brother. Do y'all hear him? Do y'all hear me? I don't got no sound right now. Can you hear me, brother? Shake your head up and down if you can hear me. Yeah, I don't hear you at all. Let me know in the chat if y'all can hear. If y'all hold on, say something.
Can you hear me now?
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. I hear you now.
What's going on, bro?
I hear you now. So type a number 7 in the chat if y'all can hear both of us, man. I ain't been live on IG in a minute, so I don't know, if the shit gonna act up.
Special occasion for you to go on IG.
Rap is a blood sport, so if someone comes for you, come back at them. Okay, 7. So it looked like they can hear both of us loud and hear. Go ahead, state your piece, King.
No, I respect your opinion. I respect your mind as far as hip hop is concerned. I'm a big fan of yours and your material. I
Appreciate
think
that.
you're one of the top MCs in terms of and being an independent artist that's out right now. And I say, but what I will say is this: I think that, as I said, that I think that Mos is very, very clever, which I said, Brother Yasin is very clever and is very creative. And he can't be slept on, man, because he's one cat that came out a couple years ago and said, yo, you get your best 3, anybody, it could be anybody, your best 3, and I'll come back with you with King Los, myself, and Black Thought. And nobody took him up on the challenge. You know what I'm saying? Nobody took him up on the challenge. Remember that? And that was maybe about 3-4 years ago. And nobody took him up on the challenge. You cannot sleep on most skills, man. This brother is not only a talented freestyler, but he's a very, very talented and creative writer. The brother can battle rhyme. He can. He can. He's very versatile with his skill set. And so my thing is that even if Drake would win a battle like that, even if he would, I'm sure, and I say this with very, 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 with a lot of conviction, that most would definitely give him, or Brother Yasin would give him a run for his money.
Okay. No doubt. I definitely respect that. And of course, like I said from the beginning of this, no disrespect to Mos Def, Yasin Bey. He is a rap god. He is a brilliant MC, very talented writer, and he could come off the top of the dome. I know who Mos Def is, okay? I'm 45 years old, for y'all don't know, because a lot of people was in my comments talking about, oh, we could tell your age by this post, or, they assuming that I must be some young nigga, because I have the opinion that I have. I'm 45 years old. I was there. I know who Mos is. I know who Yasin Bey is and what he's capable of. I remember the Lyricist Lounge. I remember New Yorican Cafe. You know what I'm saying? Def Poetry Jam, all that stuff. The Black Star album. You know what I'm saying? Yep. I remember the BET Cypher with him, Eminem, Black Thought. You know what I'm saying? And so to your point, when he put that challenge out there about him, Black Thought, and King Los, you're talking about some of the most incredible MCs, period. You know what I'm saying? You're talking about 3 of the most deadliest niggas on the microphone, period. Right? But my point is that doesn't guarantee you a win in that type of battle when it's song for song going at each other. You have more of a chance of winning if it's head to head on the microphone. You know what I'm saying? Just you freestyle, I freestyle. Who gonna win that battle? You have more of a chance if you're a Black Thought, if you're a Mos Def. Damn sure if you're a King Los. You know what I'm saying? Them dudes is incredible. But just make a song versus a song. To me, I think Drake would be more strategic and clever with it. He's very thoughtful when it comes to that. He understands the assignment.
And
But let me get my brother Billy Ray Valentine in. You can stay on here. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let you build, of course. But let me get Billy Ray Valentine. Come on in, bro. Let me hear what you got to say.
Bro. I appreciate both your guys' points. Me personally, as far as the battle, I think it's a preference battle. I think it would be a preference battle depending on what platform or what style battle it would be. Like if it was like a smack URL battle between Most and Drake, I think it could go either way because I think both of them represent different things when it comes to hip hop or rap music. So I think Most can use his angle. His angles against Drake that Most Def can capitalize off in an actual face to face battle, like in the URL style. And I think Drake could win. He could capitalize off his popularity and being more famous or more quote unquote successful in the music industry. He could use those type of bars to try to win influence over the crowd. But as anything with hip hop and when it comes to battling, there's always going to be preference. It depends when it all just comes down to determines by the individual. Me personally, I never was a real big fan of Mos Def or that style of music. I respect it. I just never something I gravitated towards. My older age, I appreciate it, but you know me, it's always going to come back to the results of all this. Hip hop is our music. Rap is our music. I mean, hip hop is our culture. Rap is part of that, and that's our music. And I always got to look at the results, and the results of the music. To me, I'm not happy with. So whenever I try to indulge in these kind of conversations or debates about which rapper is better or which rapper is not over this rapper, I always got to include their influence. I think Drake is more influential as far as on the masses. He also influential on negative things. So when I see Drake in a club or he's promoting 11-year-old rappers in clubs promoting degeneracy, that takes points off for me. You know what I'm saying? Most Def, even though he's a conscious rapper, quote unquote, and all that other stuff, it's been times where I've seen him when he speak on political issues, because I'm always going to be always about what's the best for our people. There's things that we consuming for our people, and as a responsibility, if you're a hip hop artist, you're a rapper, and all that, you have a responsibility to be for the people, regardless. I don't care what your personal goals are and all that stuff, but hip hop is our culture. It comes from the grassroots. You need to repay that the right way. And the fact that the culture is getting spiraling out of control, Drake is a major part of that because he's part of the corporation. So I don't want to get too. I just wanted to come in and just state it give it that kind of perspective to it. So me personally, I always judge these things on who is doing better work, who's doing the most constructive things. That's how I do it. That's how I judge it. But everybody don't have to look at it that deep. Just me personally, just my perspective. That's the first thing I think about when I look at these any kind of rap artists or anything like that. I gotta look at what type of influence they put out there and what type of influence are they pushing a positive influence or they playing both sides of the fence. And me personally, when it comes to rappers and all that, I'm just kind of turned off from them in general because they'll get in front of the camera and they'll talk that politically correct stuff all the time, and none of them are excluded from that across the board, none. So just to put it back on, just lighten it up a little bit more. I just think anything with Mos Def and Drake will be preference based, and I haven't really been impressed with any music. I can't be impressed with any type of music because I know that it's not 100%. All of it's not 100% positive for our consumption, pretty much. And I like to bring up your album, The Master Table, something like that. I haven't heard. That's the last album I heard. that's the last album I actually gave a chance to really listen to. I honestly don't even give chances anymore. Like it's just I'm so turned off by everything. It's just like, what are you talking about? Is it anything that's constructive for us? Is it anything that's constructive for our young people? And if it's not, then I just kind of stray away from it. So I just
I respect I respect that, and I'm glad you put that perspective on the table, because I think that plays an important role in the conversation. I think a lot of people look at it the way that you're looking at it, and that's the reason why they have the opinion that they have. Now, for me, all of that is beside. I compartmentalize these things, right? When I'm having this conversation about who would win a battle versus with Drake versus Mos Def, none of that doesn't matter to me. All of the responsibility, the conscience. Now, most people would look at me and categorize me as a conscious rapper. You know what I'm saying? I got messages in my music. You know what I'm saying? I think my music is constructive and conducive to the betterment of us as a people, right? But I also feel like that's not necessarily the responsibility of a rap artist either. You know what I'm saying? I feel like rap artists, they didn't sign up for that. You know what I'm saying? Necessarily. You know what I mean? They're entertainers. You know what I mean? We're entertainers at the end of the day. I choose to use entertainment as a form of edutainment. You know what I'm saying? That's my strategy. That's my way of conveying the messages that I want to get to the people. I use my talent and my art to do that. But I don't feel like that's necessarily the responsibility of every rapper. I think if all rappers made the type of music that I make the type of music that KRS-One makes, or Public Enemy, or Dead Prez or something like that, if all of us was on that shit, rap would not have gone as far as it has gone. Rap would not be the juggernaut that it is. You know what I'm saying? It would be limited. You know what I mean? So I feel like to each his own as far as that. And Drake is a person who obviously he stayed away from talking about any type of political, social issues or anything like that throughout his career. So that's his preference, that's his choice, and he's not obligated to do that. You know what I'm saying? And me personally, I would prefer a person to not talk about things that they're not passionate about, to not talk about things that they don't know about. Stay in your lane, do what you do. You know what I'm saying? Entertain the people. I only want people to speak on these issues that actually know what the hell they're talking about and that have a real passion for it. And now the other thing that I want to touch on, when you said about the head-to-head battle, the URL Smack DVD type of battle, I think that one could go either way too. I give Mos Def the edge in that type of battle. But also, it's tricky because Mos Def, I would say, is really at a disadvantage because people expect Mos Def to win in that situation. Drake would be the underdog in that situation. You know what I'm saying?
Why you think that? Why you think he'd be the underdog?
Because of the way that you described both artists.
Okay.
That's the way that both most people see them. You know what I mean? Drake is more of a commercial artist that people don't expect that type of rawness from. Although I know he's capable of it. You know what I'm saying? But most people don't expect that type of rawness from a Drake. So when Drake step on that Smack stage and go head to head against a Mos Def, I think the crowd overall is expecting a victory from Mos Def. They're expecting Drake to get washed. And so being an underdog puts you at an advantage because you have the element of surprise on your side. You know what I'm saying? But hop in, bro. Let me hear what you got to say.
No, what I wanted to basically say was, first of all, my brother, he was on point. He's definitely on point. I definitely was feeling everything that you're saying, and I'm in total lockstep with you on a lot of points that you brought forth. But I wanted to say this, that let's put it in the context of the whole situation. I only saw a clip of the Source interview that he had done with the young lady, and the young lady was, bringing up the fact of, what did he think of Drake in terms of, is Drake hip hop?
Right.
And I don't think that, let's be clear, I don't think that most really, was trying to attack Drake. I think that he was confronted with a question, and he answered the question sincerely. And he said basically, no, I don't think that he's hip hop. Now, even before he answered the question, he's like, why are you doing this to me? You know what I mean? Because I didn't necessarily ask, I didn't really necessarily bring up Drake. You bringing up Drake. You know what I'm saying? So you know, what I don't want for people to do, and what we have a tendency to do, especially in vehicles like social media, is to make the person who really didn't bring up the subject the villain. And I don't want them to vilify Most. Most was asked a question and he gave a sincere and concise answer on what he felt about Drake's music. You know what I'm saying? So that's one. But number two, I think that as you said, God, both y'all brothers, these both artists speak to two different demographics. Okay, two totally demographics. Their target audiences are two totally different target audiences. You know what I mean? Now, I'm a little bit biased, yeah. And I like Drake. I like Drake a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like 0 to 100, you know, is one of my favorite joints, you know what I'm saying, that he ever did. You know what I'm saying? So I do like a couple of Drake joints, a couple of them, a number of them. But I will say this, that most of my listening is definitely influenced by cats um, you know, Moose, you know, Black Thought, you know what I'm saying? I'm into that. You know what I'm saying? That's what I came up with, you know what I'm saying? And I'm revealing my age. I'm 52. I'll be 53 in June of this year. So, you know, I came up in that era, you know what I mean? So that was an influence for me. So of course I'm gonna be a little bit biased. But I'm saying that to say that although I'm biased in terms of the subject matter, I still feel as though that both artists speak to two totally demographics in terms of their target audiences, and people who love Drake gonna love and they're gonna rock and they're gonna stand with Drake. You know what I'm saying? And people who love and rock with Most, they're gonna stand with, rock with him, and you know what I mean, and support him. So I think that it's an interesting conversation where you got two cats from two totally different shares of hip hop or rap or you know whatever you know being mentioned in the same breath with one another. We got to take that into account, and I think both of y'all brothers did bring that to the table.
But so let me ask you quickly. Do you think Drake? You obviously you think Mos Def would win the battle, right? That's your opinion. You think Mos Def would win the battle versus Drake, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think Mos Def would win, but if he lost, and there's a chance that Drake may come with something that like, yo, like, damn, like, I didn't, like you said, I didn't see that coming. Yet
Right.
Drake has that potential. I
Right.
think that most would definitely give him a run for his money.
Okay. All right. So you answered the question that I wanted to ask, because I was going to ask, do you think that Drake is at least a formidable opponent? So yeah, you kind of answered that. And so
Yeah. I'd be a fool not to say no. I'd be a fool. You know what I'm saying?
all right.
I've heard too much of Drake's stuff to know that, and there's a number of different joints he's done, whether it's you know on his albums or mixtapes or whatever that I like. You know what I'm saying? And be like, yo, you know what I'm saying? He could put this up against another cat, and you know what I mean? Drake is up there, but yeah, but I still think that Most, you know what I mean, or Yasin would definitely, if not, you know, beat him in a battle. I think that the most he could do was definitely give him a run for his money.
So Big Don's barbecue sauce, man.
What's going on, my
Big
guy?
Don's barbecue sauce, man. And for those of y'all don't know, man, this brother right here, tell them who you are, man. Let them know who you are and how they can support you before you give your opinion about the Drake Mos Def
All right,
stuff.
cool.
But this brother got some slamming ass barbecue sauce.
Appreciate you, my brother. My name is Shadid, but I have a barbecue sauce company that's named Big Don's Collection, and we offer two different types of barbecue sauces and two different types of seasonings. And we have a host of other products coming, potato chips and popcorn and different things like that. But those are the four things that we have right now currently. And you can follow us at Big Don's Collection on IG. That's how I met this brother. And also, you can our website is www.bigdoncollection.com, and you can order whenever you want to order. So we ship everywhere and different things like that.
Yes,
But to the
sir.
Drake and Mos Def conversation, was listening to what the brother said. Everybody said something that made a lot of sense. Most is in his 50s. Drake is in his, I think, his late 30s, early 40s. So the two things, most been around since maybe the late 80s, early 90s. So the two different demographics are not gonna, like, these two can't battle. They can, but they can't because it wouldn't make sense.
Right.
It wouldn't make sense because most kids that listen to Drake don't even know who Yasin Bey is.
Facts.
So it'll defeat the purpose. And like the brother said, they put these artists in situations where they didn't ask. They asking them questions about people that he probably don't even listen to. That's probably why he gave the answer like that. Like Drake, like, you know, kind of nonchalantly, because he's like, I don't really think about it. Brother, you listen to everything because you're a rap connoisseur. You're an artist and you're a rap connoisseur. But most brothers that's really deep and heavy, they can't even fathom and can't even conceptualize that type of music. And in my opinion, Drake is a dope artist, but I never listened to one album that I liked. I've never listened to one album that I like. I think he gets on people albums and he does amazing verses on people albums and he have amazing singles. But as a totality, you can't say one album that he had was a classic. And I think most Def has at least one album that was a classic, at least. So if they battle, I think most would win for the simple fact, I think any veteran of the game can outwitty a young buck. And I think he can word play him and kind of play that veteran versus rookie kind of game with him. But to be honest with you, I love the conversation, but it's really a dead end conversation because the two don't fit.
I agree.
My opinion.
I agree. Billy Ray, hop back in, man. I see you chomping at the bit.
I think when as far as them not being able to battle because of age, I don't agree with that because I just think I understand that the younger crowd might not know who Mos is, but like people like I'm 45 too, so people like our age, we all saw Drake when he came in. We both are familiar with. We saw Mos Def when he was in his prime back in the day. So I think for that crowd, for that age group, we can still there'll still be a battle for us. Like we can still watch it and judge it as if the masses knew about both of them. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing I would say. I think it's still a formidable battle. Drake, he don't really. I guess he might have one album that I consider was a classic, maybe. But he just makes but he puts so much music out. It's just like, and it all sounds the same. It all sounds the same. So you can't really pick one album over the other album because it's all like it all runs congruent with each other. He got some tracks on More Life that I like. He got some tracks on a bunch of all his albums. He got tracks that I like. Right. And I probably listened to more Drake music than I did Mos Def. Just that style of music. I didn't like the conscious rap back then as far as because of the beat selection and the weight and the music, and sometimes the sound of the type of beats they chose was down wasn't like as upbeat as I would like when I'm listening to music. So that's kind of what drew me away from Mos Def in that sense. But when he's rapping on beats that I like or whatever, he definitely talented. I'm not trying to take anything away from him. He's a talented artist across the board. I just don't. I just never gravitated to him.
Yeah, man. I mean, I would say I listen to Drake more than I listen to Mos. I listen to Drake more than I listen to Mos. You know what I mean? Nothing against Mos. He don't put out a lot of music for one. You know, he's kind of against the machine. He's against the commercialism of it, and that's what he was really speaking to in the interview. I think the young lady, she asked the right question because she didn't ask him whether he thought Drake was good or not. You know, whether he thought Drake was nice or not. She asked him whether he thought Drake was hip hop or not. Right. And now, when you're talking to somebody like a Mos Def, when they hear the word hip hop, it doesn't mean the same thing as it means to most people. You know what I'm saying? Most people conflate hip hop and rap together. You know, a lot of the younger people, they have been misinformed about what hip hop actually is. You know, they've been bombarded with the love in hip hop, and you know, they just slap the word hip hop on everything, and it really doesn't apply.
It's our fault too.
partially. But you do have people out there. I mean, they probably need bigger platforms. But I've seen an interview recently with Eric Sermon, and he was talking about some of the younger generation music, and he wasn't dissing the music at all. He was like, a lot of it is good music, but it's not hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It needs to be put in another category. You know what I'm saying? And even some of the younger artists, I think they would agree with that if you had the right type of conversation with them. A lot of them wouldn't consider themselves to be an MC. You know what I mean? They talk about it's a vibe. It's a vibe. The stuff that they do is just a vibe and stuff like that. So I do agree that some of it needs to be in its own genre, needs to be in its own category, although it may be like a subgenre of rap or hip hop or whatever the case may be, but it doesn't embody the essence and the spirit of what hip hop actually is. And I think that's where Mos Def was coming from with his answer. He was speaking to Drake being a representative of the corporation, of consumption. That's why he kept saying, he was talking about SKUs everywhere and being in the mall and shopping. He was talking about products, you know what I'm saying? And just corporations, you know, corporations making a dollar. And that's what it's all about with a person like Drake, what he represents. But I think that's separate from his capabilities as an MC. Yes, he is that commercial artist that Mos Def was talking about, but he also has the ability to just be an MC. You know what I'm saying?
Dope. He's definitely dope. Drake, when I first heard Drake, I think it was maybe 08. And somebody popped in a CD. And I'm like, who is this kid? And that's before he was signed. He was kind of underground. It was underground mixtape. And I knew right then and there he was going to be a star because he's definitely dope. They both amazing artists, man. It's good conversation. But, you know, at the end of the day, we'll never see it happen because I don't think Drake will battle anybody because a few battle rappers have called him out and tried to battle him, and he won't do it. So I don't think he'll really ever battle anybody. So it's just good conversation.
Who you said that about? Drake or Mos?
Drake.
About Drake.
Yeah, Murder called him out a few times.
Yeah, he definitely picks and chooses his battles. He definitely pick and choose who he's gonna respond to. But even Jay-Z did the same thing. You know what I'm saying? Nobody really don't question whether Jay-Z is hip hop or not. You know what I'm saying? But he pick and choose his battles as well. There've been plenty of people that went at Hov over the years that he never responded to for whatever reason. He feel like he bigger than them, he too big to respond, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But some of these people would have been formidable opponents lyrically. You know what I'm saying? But he chose not to engage. That's part of the art of war.
How y'all feel about that, though? Picking and choosing who you want to battle. Like, if you on that stature, of Jay-Z, Nas, Drake, and all of them, like, how y'all feel about them?
I think it's smart.
It's smart.
I think it's smart because you got to think about your career too. You know what I'm saying?
So that's the business. That's the business aspect of it.
Yeah, you got more to lose. You got more to lose than this person. You know what I mean?
But that's been
you got more to lose than this person.
Time immemorial. I mean, let's go back to Cannabis and LL. Cannabis knew exactly what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? It's just the fact that in that situation, Cannabis being the young lion at that time, you know, the young up and coming artist, and LL being the established veteran who reached out to Cannabis and put him on, you know, his album, you know, on 1, 2, 3, 4 joint. It was like a situation where Cannabis bit off a little bit more than he could chew. You know what I mean? And then, you know, he came out with, you know, second round knockout joint. But on that album, which was his initial first debut album, which was produced by, you know, Wyclef and you know, the Fugees and that whole crew, it just wasn't a good album. And it really wrecked his career. You know what I'm saying? And then LL came back and just completely destroyed him. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it backfires. Yeah, you can choose to battle a cat, you know what I'm saying? But you got to be very, like I agree with the God, you know, with Sincere. It's like you got to be very careful with that, man, because it could either make your career or break your career. You know what I mean? And people don't forget. You know, once your career is broken, people don't forget that. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, you can kind of go off this, you know, radar for a minute and try to, regroup and then try to come back. But there's always going to be 1 or 2 people that's going to remind you or remind people that, yo, this was the same cat that got destroyed by this cat. You know what I'm saying? You know, so.
Meek Mill is a good example of that.
Yeah.
Meek Mill is a good example of that. He stepped on a landmine. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
What y'all
He
think?
wasn't ready. He wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
What y'all think about?
But let me,
Go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna get final statements from y'all real quick.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Just say because I want to see if I can get some more people on here to add their opinions too. So just everybody, you know, state their final statements on this.
My final thoughts on it is just that I think it's a preference battle depending on what the platform is, whether they do make a song or if they do like a URL face to face type battle. I just think it'll be preference based. I'll close out on that. I appreciate y'all. Billy Ray Valentine from the Melvin Ed Podcast, Wednesdays, 7:30 p.m.
Yes,
on YouTube.
indeed. Yes,
Salute
indeed.
y'all.
Yes, indeed. Y'all make sure y'all
Salute to
check out the
everybody
Melvin
on
Air
the
podcast.
panel. Salute to everybody on the panel. I'm gonna sign out, and I'm gonna continue to watch.
Appreciate you, brother.
All right, salute y'all.
I would like to
No
say
doubt.
I appreciate you, God, man. You always been a good brother, supportive brother, and I love the content that you create. But like I say, the brother said, it's a preference battle. It's good hip hop conversation. Both of those guys are, in a sense, positive hip hop artists, even though Drake kind of sway a little bit at time to time. But for the most part, he's 100% kind of pop, hip hop, is not really volatile or whatever. So good conversation. I just appreciate dialogue with some good brothers. That's it.
Yes, indeed. Appreciate you, man. Make sure y'all go support Big Don's collection. Get that barbecue sauce and that seasoning and all that. I got to get with you, brother.
Right on, bro.
Peace.
Peace.
I mean, I just want to, close out by saying that, basically, I don't really see it as a battle because the question was posed to most sincerely answer the question, but he never said, "Yo, I mean, I'm looking to, I'm looking, to get some of that action, against Drake, what I'm saying, and battle him and whatever, and see who's better between him, him and I." So I just look at it as just something that is good conversation, good dialogue, and just being genuine and sincere about how you feel about another artist. You know what I'm saying? It's like Common said, just because I don't like it, if I don't like it, I don't like it. It don't mean that I'm hating. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I just thought that that's the way that that most approach that whole situation when ask that question about Drake. But other than that, man, continue doing what you're doing, God. I'm looking for the next joint. You know what I'm saying? Yo, pick up the Masters Table on all streaming platforms by Sincere Love the God. Continue doing what you're doing. You have my full support, and I definitely got to get with you because I'm doing some things, and I'm trying to have some shows for independent artists right
Okay.
out here in Philly. So I definitely will get with you very, very soon.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, man.
All right, now, peace to God.
Peace.
Peace.
All right. Willie Will, send a request, man. Willie Will, you got a lot to say in the chat. Send a request, brother. Brother Ish, let me get you on here too. Send me a request, Brother Ish. Let me get you on here. And if we got any young people in here right now, I was hoping my son would hop on here. My son is a big Drake fan. I was hoping he would hop on here. Yeah, the brother from Philly. Yeah, the brother's from Philly. But if we got any of the younger generation on here right now, hop on, man. We want to get your perspective too. You heard from the old heads. You got our old head perspective. All right, all right. All right, cool. I see you, Brother Ish. When you're ready. But Willie Will, you got a lot to say in the chat, man. Hop on here and give us your feedback. Give us your feedback, man. All feedback is welcome. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all follow each other. Everybody that was on here, Big Don, Billy Ray Valentine, and what's my brother's name that was on here? Say something in the chat, brother, so we can see your handle on here. Make sure that y'all all follow each other. All right, let's hear from Willie Will. Let's hear from Willie Will, because he don't got no respect for Drake. I accepted your request. Where you at?
Peace, bro.
Okay.
What's going
Peace.
on with you?
Peace. What's going on, man? Drake don't get no respect, fam?
Zero.
Whatsoever?
Zero respect.
All right.
Zero respect, bro.
Like,
Listen, I'm 52 years old, so I jumped into hip hop when it was banging, when it was off the chain, living in Detroit. That's all we had. So, you get these young cats that come into play, and they really don't have nothing to offer. They're not. How are they helping us? One thing I can say you brought up KRS-One. When I was younger and I first heard of KRS-One, I didn't know what the hell I was listening to. I ain't had no clue. I was too young. You know, my mother owned a record shop in Detroit on Grand River. So I had all the music. Everything you could think of, I had it. But I wasn't ready for KRS-One. But when I got in my 30s, KRS-One blew my doors down. Because now I hear a different I hear a different language. I hear a different KRS-One. So when I talk to my kids about Drake, I ask them the same question my mother asked me. You know, what is NWA providing for you? You know what I'm saying? My mother used to drill us to the ground. Why are you playing that nonsense? But when I ask my kids, you know, what Drake got on the table for you? They remind me of myself. I had nothing to tell her. All I was doing was bobbing my head listening to the beat. Ain't had nothing to tell her. The same thing is going on right now.
Sometimes that's okay. Like I stated earlier, it's not a rap artist's responsibility to uplift the community. It's really not. We would like them to do that. I do that in my music. You know what I'm saying? I'm a fan of artists who do that, but that's not any entertainer's responsibility. You know, they signed up to be an entertainer. They didn't sign up to be a social activist. They didn't sign up to be a politician. That's not what they signed up for. DJ RP Beats. I got my DJ in here, my producer in here. Send a request, brother. Get
Well,
your
let
ass
me ask
on
you.
here. Get your
Well, let
ass
me
on
ask you.
here, DJ RPBs. I don't want to hear from you in the chat. Send a request.
Yeah, because you called me out in the chat. I wasn't trying to get on. You called me out, so I so I had to hit the button.
Yes,
But let me ask you this:
sir. Yes, sir.
if it's not their responsibility to bring positivity to the community, then why shouldn't it be? Why is their obligation to help destroy the community?
Well, that's a whole different conversation. That's a different conversation. Now, I understand your point,
But it's a real
and
question.
I get the perspective. My answer is again, God is in the nuances, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I say this a lot, right? If you look at all the issues that plague the black community, right? And we talking about the black community because that's our primary concern. If we talking about any of the social issues, economic issues, you know, crime, drugs, poverty, all of the things that have a ill effect on our community, which one of them can we point to that didn't exist before rap music?
Oh,
All of the issues that plague our community now were there before niggas started rapping and making gangster rap songs and drill songs. And so I can't really blame the rappers for the condition. To me, you have to go to the root and the source of the problem. Our condition is an engineered condition. You know what I'm saying? We're not just in this, it's not our own fault. We're not our own worst enemy. You know what I'm saying? We were placed in this condition by social engineers who are very powerful, who have hoarded all the resources for themselves, who have benefited from our labor, our talent, all of these things for hundreds of years. You know what I'm saying? This didn't just happen to us overnight. And so I can't really blame the rappers. The rappers who fall into those categories, if anything, I see them as victims. They're used as tools, and I understand the power of music and influence and all of that, but I can't blame the rapper themselves. I got to look at the executives who promote this type of shit, the corporations who put all of the billions and dollars behind that type of shit, the radio stations who choose to play that over something that has a more positive, uplifted message. I put it on the source of the actual problem. I feel like blaming the rappers, that's picking the low hanging fruit, and that's not really going to solve our problems.
well, I say this in response to what you said. It all goes back on us. We allow it. We support it. We listen to it. They won't sell if we don't buy it. We are the main contributors to buying it and supporting it. So we are actually our own demise in a sense because other communities won't allow that. And I'll say this as far as with Drake. I don't even consider Drake as a part of our community. Okay, he's just a guy that jumped on a bandwagon for a quick money grab and grabbed a whole lot of money out of it. You know, when I speak of guys that come from our community, I speak of guys like you, guys like Mos Def, guys that come out the hood. That actually this is what you had to do. You had to create a good tool, you know, a skill set for yourself to be even known in the society. Not somebody that you know was pretty much failing in acting, and this was your way out of it.
Hold on, because I'm trying to add more people, and it's saying that
I see you. You good?
it's saying I got already 3 people up here, so I'm trying to figure out how to add. But maybe I got to get you off and reset the thing. So give your final words on the topic, brother.
Well, as far as the lyricist, I don't even see Drake standing next to Mos Def. Mos Def done said some stuff 15 years ago that I'm still processing. That he dropped. So lyrically, Mos Def is a monster. So I give that anybody could put some words together. But when you put words together that last 10, 15, 20 years, you like, wait, hold on. Mo said that. That's the stuff that gravitates me the most. That's all.
All right, respect. I respect that.
No doubt.
I
No doubt.
respect that.
No doubt.
Appreciate you hopping
I'm
on,
back.
man.
I'm back in the chat.
Yes,
All
sir.
right.
All right, let me see. Send a request again, y'all. It wasn't allowing me to add y'all because it was saying I already had 3 people up here. But I think I should be able to add y'all now. RP, get your ass up here. Who else? Who else we got in here? Hold on, let me send this. Hold on. Mr. Ish. Mr. Ish. I accepted your request, Brother Ish. Let me send this to my son. I want to see if I can get my son in here. Give his perspective. RPB said Drake is a Jewish plant. Hop on here, RP Beats. Brother Ish, I accepted your request. Where you at? Okay. I hear you, but I don't see you. Say something?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you, but I don't see you. I don't know. Type of number 7 in the chat if y'all could see and hear both of us. Type of number 7 in the chat if y'all could see and hear both of us. I got Brother Ish on here. I hear his voice, but I don't see his video.
I see myself, but I hear and see you.
You don't hear? You don't see me?
I see you.
Okay,
Everything
good.
good
All
on
right.
my end.
All right. So yeah, I can't see him, but we should be good. We should be good to chop it up. I see the
Yeah.
sevens. I see the sevens coming in, so we should be good to chop it up. RP, send a request. What you doing, man? You DJ? You doing a gig right now or something? You can't get on here. But Brother Ish, man, let me get your feedback on the whole topic. First, is Drake hip hop, and why or why not, and who you think will win in an actual battle?
Drake is absolutely hip hop. He's absolutely hip hop. See, I go back with this when Drake first got
Zelo,
started.
send a request to get on here, Zelo.
Look sideways. This is crazy. Let me see if I can fix that. I don't like that. Let me see if I can fix that. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, I remember when Drake got started, and I'm a man of a certain age, like the brother before. This thing is wild. Hold up, y'all. It's my first time going live on Instagram. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of acting up a little bit. I don't see you at all, but I hear you,
Okay.
and people in the chat saying they can see and hear both of us.
Okay, cool. See, my volume is low. I
So,
don't know what's up with that. My volume is all the way up.
I hear you just fine.
Loud and clear?
I hear you loud and clear. Let us know what's going on in the chat. I think this thing is acting up a little bit.
Okay. I see some thumbs up. I don't see nobody else saying nothing. All right, I'm gonna continue.
Go ahead.
So they said we good. Billy Ray say we good. All right, cool. So I take it back to the essence, like I do with most stuff. Drake started out with guess who? Every rapper's favorite rapper, Fonte from Little Brother.
Little brother.
He claimed he got
Yes,
his
indeed.
style from them. Okay, where did he go after that? I mean, yeah, he was coming from Canada, hanging around New York. He went to Houston. He got a lot of that Southern swag from that Houston crew. So I say all of that to say this: how could he not be hip hop? Yeah, he was on the Degrassi show or whatever you want to call that as a kid actor. We're gonna do the same thing to everybody. We're gonna do that to Will Smith. Okay, yeah. We're gonna do that to everybody else. No, that's false, man. That's false. I don't like that because it's a revisionist history to say that, oh, now because he's doing X, Y, and Z, he's pop now, and I'm not talking specifically about most, but I'm going to his comment, the Target comment. The Target comment, man, 99% of the rappers want to hear their stuff in Target. I don't care how conscious they are. They need to cut it out. You cut it out. Okay? That's nonsense. And his thing about him being pop, okay, pop means popular. Who's the king of pop? Michael Jackson will forever be the king of pop. That's popular. That's all it really means. To say he's not hip hop is to say that, you know, he didn't win the battle against Meek. He didn't want to respond, is to say that he didn't want to respond to Pusha. He wanted to respond to Pusha. Now, I follow hip hop like I follow Black empowerment because it's all the same in my eyes, in my weird sensibility. And I say he wanted to respond to Pusha, but word is that Brother Jay Prince destroyed the evidence to say, nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. We're not gonna go there because it's gonna start something we don't want to finish off like that, like a Big and Pop type of thing. So, nah, yeah, I don't like his brand right now. I hadn't liked a Drake album since the I forget the name of it. Started from the bottom. That album.
Isn't that if you're reading this, it's too late?
So yeah, that one. That was the last one I really dug, and I was like, okay, I can rock to this. And I don't disparage the youth, even though I'm much older than most of these cats. I don't disparage none of them. And to the comment point, the other brother said, if I don't like it, I don't like it. That don't mean that I'm hating. Man, let's just be honest, okay? If you're not hating, you're not going to say a disparaging comment like that. That's to most deaf. Now, I'm going to say something that most people ain't going to like, and I've been saying it the last few days. I love Mos Def as an artist, okay? As an artist, he's dope. He's super dope. However, he got some serious hate in him. Let's keep it 100 here, okay? You know where I'm going. You probably saw what I was saying.
What's up, my bro?
Peace.
Let's keep it 100 on Mos being a hater, okay? Who did he hate on when he was with Talib? He hated on the whole region. Him and Talib Kweli. And I love the album. Remember the song Hater Player? Who is he talking about, man? Let's just be honest.
He's talking about the West Coast.
And the South. Because remember, in that imagery, what was that imagery of? Pen and Pixel, which was hot back in the day for No Limit and them boys. Right? I'm from the South, from Pensacola, Florida. However, I love all the stuff. There ain't too much hip hop that I can't really dig. But when I see that, you know, and somebody mentioned to me before that I was holding animosity. No, I just didn't forget. I just didn't forget that. And now you want to come back and be like, oh, well, that. He hated on Lil Jon big time. He did a serious hate on Lil Jon and them. However, I can see both sides of his point, how they were corporatized. You see what I'm saying? They were corporatized. That was not.
Lil Jon wasn't a rapper, man.
Hold on. I'm gonna let you jump in a second.
I know where you're going. No, he was talking about the East Side Boys. Okay, if you know the story, he was talking about their name was Lil Sam and Big Bo. Y'all don't know if you remember that. I thought it was iconic interview he did, and it was a clip. And he said, "What does that add up to?" Sam Bo. I said, "Oh snap!" I said, "The brother dropped one." What happened after that? I said, "What happened after that?" East Side Boys distanced themselves from Lil Jon because I think they saw the light. I give that brother all the credit in the world for having knowledge of self, but he's shown some hate. You know what I mean? And that was just a little dig at him. That was a little dig, like he do his normal little digs, you know. And the last piece I'm gonna say is he was one of the ones, and I love these artists too. In this group, they was on this little wave, you know, after Pac and Big, when Rough Riders and DMX then was hot. When remember What They Do video with the Roots?
Yes, okay? yes.
A lot of people didn't see that as throwing shots.
It was definitely shots.
Oh, was there ever? Oh my goodness. You know who took it to heart? And I'm bringing this up to make a bigger point. I'm not talking bad about the Roots. Black Thought is one of my favorites all time, and as well as most. It's the greater point. Okay. They was throwing big shots. Pimp C took serious he took that serious, more serious than any other artist.
Facts.
If you know hip hop.
Facts.
Okay. I'm trying to think of the name of the song. I just mentioned it the other day. But he mentioned it in a song and he went directly without saying their name. And what they do, it was corny as F. You talking about my friends. Why don't you say some names? Okay. That's why Pimp went. See, people coming back and doing this revisionist thing with Pimp C, with MC Hammer, and they'll do it later with Drake. I'm just saying, keep it the same.
You making some great points, brother. You making some really, really, really valid points. Let me get Diamond Edge. Let me get your feedback, bro, real quick.
I think Drake trash. I mean, just straight trash, just straight ass.
Hold
I think he. I mean,
hold on. Where you
I'm from
from? You
Philly.
from Philly? How old are you?
48. About to be
Okay, all right,
48.
go ahead.
Yeah,
All
48.
right, go ahead.
Drake is straight trash, man. I mean, he got some songs that you could vibe to, but all that singing and all that old Care Bear ass shit he do is trash. He trash, bruh. Like, he's disrespectful to real hip hop. Drake is not the GOAT. Will never be the GOAT. Will never be nowhere near the GOAT. Every time he on a song with Jay smash his ass. You know what I'm saying? To make a point, Jay smash his ass and push ran through his ass with a Mack truck. You know what I'm saying? Ran through him with a Mack truck. There's no way he could come back from that Push joint. Push said, "What's up? I got more." He ain't want no smoke. I don't care what another man tell you. If you want to do something, you gonna do it. Can't no another man tell me not to do something with the hair products that I do. You can't tell me don't this company. I'm gonna diss every company that I feel as though I need to get my point across. You know what I'm saying? You either like it or you not. It's the nature of the beast. You're either the beast or you the hunted. Which one you want to be? Pusher said he was
Okay.
the hunter. Drake was the prey. His ass was running for dear life. You know what I'm saying? And then Pusha was so disrespectful. He was super disrespectful to that man. How you don't come back? And then you come back with that song saying, okay, they broke the crown into 1,000 pieces, but it's more in my possession. Who cares? It's more in your possession. The crown got slapped off your head. You supposed to came back. It got slapped clean off your head. And then into the brewer. And then Pusha T had broke down the gold and start rocking the jewels. That's all I wanted to say, man. Drake is trash, ass, and whoever don't like that, so what? He's ass. To me, he's ass.
Got you.
He's
Got
ass.
you. I respect your opinion. I disagree with most of it.
Yeah.
But I respect your opinion though. I appreciate you adding on.
Appreciate you,
Let me
my
see if I can
brother.
let me see if I can
Appreciate
get more people on.
it. All right.
Hey,
Oh
I
man.
respect my man's opinion and how he stood on Philly. I ain't mad at that at all. I ain't mad at that's how Philly brothers get down. I like that.
No doubt.
I like that. I ain't mad at that.
And don't forget though, don't forget, Mos Def is a singer too. Y'all keep talking
Exactly.
about Drake. Y'all keep talking about Drake singing and all that. Mos Def sings just as much as Drake.
My Umi. Okay. My Umi says, come on, man.
He got whole songs singing. That
Yeah.
don't take
Yeah.
that don't take nothing away from Mos. It shouldn't take nothing away from Drake either.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? Anybody else want to hop on and add their opinion? I ain't gonna be on here too much longer, but anybody else want to hop on? Especially some of the younger people, man. We heard from all of us old heads, and I think Ish, man, a lot of stuff that you brought up is real valid, and I don't think a lot of people really looking at it from that angle. And that's what I mean when I say God is in the nuances. I think you have I really think you have a very nuanced viewpoint on the subject, and that's important. Most people are just going to be biased to their own sensibilities of what they like and what they consider to be quote unquote real hip hop versus what's pop and all of that. And they don't see it no other way but just that black and white. But there are very much gray areas, especially when you're talking about an artist like Drake, because yes, he is a pop artist. But again, hip hop is the most popular music on the planet. And so if you're the most popular rap artist, yeah, you're a pop artist.
Right.
You're a pop
Exactly.
artist. but that doesn't mean you're not hip hop. Hip hop is pop. What's more popular than hip hop?
Nothing. Nothing's close. Nothing's even close. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So for him to say that, and he was kind of smirking. So I was like, okay, he might be taking a little light shot at him. He didn't, and I missed one of your questions earlier. Who will win the battle? Brother, I'm gonna say something that's probably gonna light the thing up. Drake would eat him. He would eat him.
Now, see, I said that too. That's what started this whole conversation, because I said I think Drake would body Mos Def in a battle. But what type of battle are you talking about? Because I'm saying if both of them go in the studio and make diss tracks against each other,
right.
I think Drake wins that battle. Right. But if you're talking about just head to head, both of them standing on stage like Smack DVD URL type of shit, right, I would lean more toward the Mos Def in that situation. But just song for song, I think Drake gonna body him. But what type of battle are you talking about?
No, that's exactly what I'm talking about. So I don't know. I don't watch football or sports like I used to back in the day. I was a diehard, right? But I do kind of pay attention. And when I'm doing other stuff, I watch the games. So I know this season, the Dallas Cowboys was hot. It was like, oh man, they're gonna win the Super Bowl. And they got destroyed yesterday. I was sitting here laughing. I'm like, wow, it was hilarious. And I would have laughed if they won. Here's the thing. That's the two dichotomies we have. You put Drake in the studio against Mos, he gonna eat him. Okay. You put him live, even on a Zoom, and you got to go off the dome, Mos gonna destroy him. You see what I'm saying? There's no, to me, when you're talking about these two titans, there's no middle ground. There ain't no middle ground. I think it would have been the same. You mentioned earlier, or somebody mentioned earlier, with Cannabis and LL. If Cannabis, the old Cannabis, was off the dome, he would have got L.
Good point. Good point. Now look, let's use that example right there. That's a good one right there, because if we're talking about from a technical skill set point of view, Cannabis is a superior MC to LL Cool J. But as an artist and as a songwriter, it's LL. LL won the battle against Cannabis based off of strategy, based off of his status and who he was and all of that, and the way that he approached the battle. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean he could rap better than Cannabis. He can't. Exactly. Same thing here. I don't think Drake can rap better than Mos Def, although it's closer than the Cannabis LL, I would say. But I don't think he could rap better than Mos Def. But I'm just saying, in that battle situation where both of them got to go in the studio and make a diss track, I think Drake is gonna get him on that. Oh, yeah. I don't think most he's not battle tested. Drake is battle tested.
Yes. And to the brother's point earlier, he's talking about, I ain't gonna let no man do this, that, and the third. And I guess he works in beauty products and cutting hair or whatever. Yeah, if you're your own man, you can say that.
Right.
Drake is his own man to a degree, but he's got big homies, okay? That's gonna come in, and let's keep it a buck here also. Didn't the same thing happen with Big and them after Pac was murdered? Anybody know about that story?
Yeah,
they had one in the chamber.
Big wanted to go at Pac, but Puff said no.
Directly. He wanted directly, no more subliminals. He wanted it directly. And right after Pac was murdered, they allegedly destroyed the evidence, the tape, the DAT, or whatever the case may be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
that's a fact.
All of this you have to put it in its proper context and say, okay, yeah, head to head, yeah, your career might be in serious shambles, Drake. You do it like that, and I'm being honest. You go with Mos and you get Mos superheated, man. Look out. To me, it's almost like when not Drake, but Jay is upset. When Jay gets upset, oh man, it ain't too many cats that's gonna stand with him. And I'm talking dead or alive. When he gets upset, yeah, because he didn't get upset with the Nas thing. You know what I'm saying? It got a little disrespectful.
He got arrogant.
Right.
He was too arrogant.
Right. If he would have got ticked, that would have been one for age. That would have been an Ali Frazier type joint. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at with it.
I think one of the things that made Jay lose that battle too was, see, again, it goes back to hip hop. What does hip hop mean, right? Hip means to know, hop means to do. You know what I'm saying? So it's being aware of what you do. Hip hop always had a conscious aspect to it. And Jay-Z, he thought it was cool to diss Nas for having knowledge of self. He thought it was cool to go at Nas about being conscious. And that kind of backfired on him because that's like dissing hip hop itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah. It was wrong. It was bad timing. And now look at
No. RP, I don't know why you ain't hopping on here. You got a lot to say in the comment.
You need to.
I don't know why you ain't hopping on here. RP said
he did this. He did.
Biggie dissed Pac on Dangerous MCs, but we talking about no subliminals.
Right.
We talking about the same way Pac came at him. He wanted to go back at Pac.
Yes.
But Puff shut that down the same way Jay Prince shut down the Drake Pusha T thing. Exactly. It's the same thing.
Exactly. It is.
It's the same thing. So if you're gonna disrespect Drake for that, then you gotta disrespect Biggie too.
Thank you. You took the words right out of my mouth. He didn't call him out, RP. Come on. He said he did.
RP, get on here, man. RP, get on here, man.
That's right, K-Son. It was built on the consciousness, right?
Absolutely.
And shout out to our good brother, Tariq Nasheed, who's doing the hip-hop documentary, okay?
Microphone check.
Microphone check. I was about to say, and we don't stop. Microphone check. That's going to touch on it. And that was one of the elements that nobody really talked about. Yeah, Africa Bambaataa, many people don't like to talk about. He said the knowledge was a part of it. You dig what I'm saying? That knowledge was a definite piece. So when Jay did that, it's like you dissing a whole large genre at that time of hip hop, a whole section of hip hop. It's like, wait a minute, hold on, dog. We just kind of getting into you. You know, he was just kind of coming around to some of the conscious cats, myself included. And especially, here's another element, down south. The down south brothers and sisters wasn't rocking with Jay like that. Even when he got on the high remix. It was like, all right, whatever, you know. We was cool with it, but nobody was dissing. You know what I'm saying? We always show respect to those who started the thing, the same with the West Coast cats. That's why I like to bring a different perspective in when I don't like to choose sides because I like them both. Now, if it's somebody that's being foul, then yeah, you know, do whatever. But nah, not in this case, brother.
That's true, man. That's true because we know the story. Pimp C really didn't want to get on the Big Pimpin' record. You know what I'm saying? Just because of the way Jay-Z was viewed. You know what I'm saying? Not that they thought he was trash or nothing like that, but just the commercialism, the same way a lot of people are looking at Drake now. Pimp C kind of wasn't really with that. He had to be talked into getting on that track. He had to be talked into doing that track. He really didn't want to do it.
To that point,
you know what I'm saying?
To that point, his biggest thing, and Bun just said it in another interview, and I've heard this when it first came out. He was looking at Jay sideways because of the subliminals thrown at Pac. That was one of his biggest points because he was and that's Pimp's thing. If he ride with you, he ride with you. I can talk about, I don't know them brothers, didn't know them brothers, but I just happened to be in Texas when they first started out, okay? And I caught on to the first album and was riding with them since then. So when you see and hear this stuff, and then they come and verify 20, 30 years later, I'm like, okay, it's all true. And that's the same thing I was saying about Hammer, about it. MC Hammer, okay? When MC Hammer first came out with the Let's Get It Started. Everybody loved it. People they can pick on the parachute pants and all that. That first album was hip hop. People was
don't hurt him.
Yeah, people was digging the first album. When he came out and started getting more acclaim and went more commercialized, that's when people doing the same thing now as what they're trying to put on Drake.
Right. So yeah, give your overall opinion about that Hammer thing. That's an interesting topic itself.
Look here, man. I'm gonna tell you like this, and I like to go to actual facts and the people that was there because I wasn't there. I was a quote unquote fan, a supporter. Listen to what Redman had to say. Listen what Eric Sermon had to say. Listen to what Outkast had to say. I don't know of anyone that had anything negative outside of guess who? Third Base, and specifically MC Search, that's still talking greasy to this day. Okay.
No. Because Eric Sermon was in the Gas Face video,
Yep.
right? They was taking shots at Hammer too.
He was.
Run DMC, I believe, had took some shots at Hammer. Also, it was definitely people that didn't agree with Hammer being considered hip hop at that time. You know what I'm saying? They kind of despised him getting credit as a hip hop artist, especially on the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? But now, from a street standpoint, he demanded respect and commanded respect. Nobody disrespected Hammer on a street level. You know what I'm saying? Because where he came from, he had that respect, he had that backing, and niggas knew Hammer didn't fuck around like that. If they didn't know, they found out. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
Especially when they went out to the West Coast, yeah, they found out Hammer wasn't nobody to fuck with like that.
No doubt.
But from the music side of things, though, I think he was heavily criticized, especially by a lot of East Coast hip hop artists. But me, I was a little kid at that time. I was cool with Hammer. I liked this song.
But that was after the first album. That was my point. After the first album, people was rocking with him. After that, then you saw the Hammer, Big Hammer with the glasses on, and they was kicking it over and all of that in the Third Base video. Everybody, even his West Coast contemporary, was taking
even
shots.
Tupac.
Yes.
Even Tupac.
Yes.
That one interview with Pac, he was on some TV show or whatever.
Yeah.
And they asked him something like, who's the best rapper or something like that. And he sarcastically said MC Hammer.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, it wasn't just East Coast, but definitely heavy on the East Coast.
Look at the DOC, the Formula video. In the beginning, when they were doing the auditions and they had the cat in that mallet.
Yes.
They was You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
But, and even Cube. Love Cube. True to the Game video. Cube was dancing. So what did Hammer do? He politely slid next to him, like he said to Redman, young brother, I know you don't know. And after that, all that died down. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So yeah, it's a little, it's only similar because of their heightened popularity. You know, that's the only level, because Drake don't have that. That's not who he is. You know what I'm saying? That ain't who he is at all. But that's why I brought that up, because, we don't want to look back, when I'm an old man 20 years from now and somebody saying, oh, well, let's bring Drake out for the 70th year of hip hop. And then everybody was dissing, Same. That's why Hammer didn't show up. I don't agree with that. I thought he should have been there when they invited him.
Yeah.
Because the youth need to see him. They should have saw him, whether he was doing the typewriter or whatever, pumps in a bump. It don't matter. You did? It don't matter. They need the youth. My son needs to see that, because he don't know who MC Hammer is. MC Hammer is. I have to show him. I have to go to videos. I didn't agree with KRS-One on that. No, and to me, he's still the greatest MC of all time. Even though I don't agree with his, consciousness right now and where he be standing on stuff. He's still the greatest MC of all time to me. All time.
Okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah. No doubt. But yeah, brother, you get somebody else on. I ain't want to take up all your time.
No, that's
I appreciate you.
I think that's it. I ain't got no more requests. I said what I had to say on the matter. You made some great points. Everybody that came on here made some great points. I appreciate everybody's perspective on it. It's just a good conversation to engage in. It ain't no heavy topic. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But everything ain't got to be heavy all the time.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Everybody gonna have their opinion. Everybody got their biases or whatever the case may be. Me, I try to be nuanced when it comes to these things, regardless to who my favorites may be, what my preference may be. I try to look at everything from a nuanced perspective and give credit where credit is due. I don't think Most was completely wrong with what he was saying, but he wasn't 100% right either.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And I just threw the battle thing out there because I thought about it, because me and my son was going back and forth. Now, I give my son a hard time. My son, Drake is his favorite artist. And so I give my son a hard time, even though I might not always disagree with him. I'll be the devil's advocate in the situation just because I want him to think. I want to challenge his his thought process and where he thinks he believes and what he thinks his opinions are. I want to challenge it. So me and him, we go back and forth about stuff like that all the time. And so I knew my audience would think I'm tripping by saying that that Drake would eat Most Def in the battle. So I said, yeah, let me throw this out here and just start the conversation, and I'll do a live at some point just to, really break everything down. So I appreciate everybody helping me break it down today, man. I think it was a good conversation. Shout out to brother Khalik, man. That's a young brother right there in the building too, man.
Okay. Hey, before we head off, I wanna expound on your last point about that conversation with your son.
Go ahead.
I think he's about the same age as my middle son. My middle son is 23.
Yeah.
I think he's 23.
He about to be 20.
Yeah. He's closer. Well, he's closer to my daughter's age. My daughter will be 20 this year. Okay. So they have the same perspective on hip hop because they grew up listening to all of it, right? And they love Drake too. I didn't pose this to him, but we've had these discussions, earlier on, and I do the same thing. And I like and appreciate that, to hear you challenge them, because it challenges their mind in more than just one perspective. Because I'm gonna give you this. He came to me the other day, my middle son, and was asking me, who else could he be listening to when it comes to Black consciousness? And I was like, oh snap, okay, all right, well, bring me to YouTube. And I subscribed him to all the thought leaders. I put him on, so he's gonna start listening to Cecilia of the God and more of Tariq and more of all the good brothers and sisters. Professor Black Truth, I got to subscribe him there. I forgot to put him on that. Mr. Jason Black, whether he's doing TBA or the business. So when you're doing that, okay, I hope everybody can take that gem away from this, not, like you said, not so serious topic, and say, wow, that's a great way I can engage with my children, or it might be a niece or nephew, or just the youth in general, to say, all right, yeah, I'm an old head, OG, whatever you want to call this, right? But I want to give you a different perspective on just to use your mind and think, why did you come to that conclusion? And I appreciate that, and I thank you for your time, brother.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, man.
Master's Table 2.
It's coming, man. We're gonna do something. We're gonna make something happen. But yeah, man, about the us being able to have those conversations with our kids, especially those of us, who got, some older children, teenagers and young 20s and stuff like that. We don't want to lose them, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We can't just write them off and dismiss their opinions and what they think is valid, you know what I'm saying, just based on, our old head sensibilities. We have to respect them and in order to get respect from them, you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so, when we have those conversations, we can't just invalidate their perspective. You know what I'm saying? We got to try to understand where they're coming from and bridge that gap and make some type of connection with them, because that don't just go for us as individuals with our father and son. That goes for us as one generation to the next. That's been a problem for us, getting cut off every generation. We got to start from scratch because the younger generation don't respect the older generation. The older generation think the young generation is just making noise and that ain't real music. And that happens every single generation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From the bebop to the jazz to the funk, all the way down to hip hop. The old heads was always dissing what the young generation was doing. And so the young generation loses respect to the older generation for that. And so we have to be able to connect and find ways where, we can actually meet with them and show them the respect that they deserve, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love the way that came full circle with this whole Drake thing and Mos Def, because they are two different generations.
Exactly.
And that was beautiful. Beautiful, brother. Beautiful.
Exactly. Appreciate you, man. All right, we're going to get up out of here, man. Everybody stay blessed. I will see y'all on the other side. Make sure y'all subscribe to me on YouTube. Subscribe to Godcast Enterprises on YouTube. Me and my sister Nicety Girl, we be doing our thing over there with Sincere Love to Godcast. We got the Black Business Showcase as well. So if you're a business owner or entrepreneur and you would like to have your business featured on our channel, hit me up in the DM. Let me know what you got going on. We'll see about getting you on the schedule. With that being said, I'm out of here, family. But always remember, I am not the master teacher. I am only the master student and signal booster for the voices of the new Black media. Peace and Black love.
Peace.